Well, hello, everybody. We have an amazing show for you today, a ton of value to give you, and I want to thank everyone for being here. Doubling your skincare results. Is it that easy? Well, it actually is. I was actually on a forum call yesterday with a group of 50 aesthetic physicians, some plastic surgeons, some derms, some aesthetic docs, and we're talking just that, facelifts, scar tissue, fillers, and people doubling their skincare now without doing those procedures or surgeries. So I thought, what a better time to talk to you than what I learned from 50 of the top providers in the United States. That was yesterday. It was a USA call. And one of the tests that I want you to do, think about this, and you can do this now before we start, and that is simply grabbing your skin back here by your ear. Grab it to the extent that you want to remove your jowl. So you grab it like that for a second and let go. And luckily I could just see mine. But you want to count 1, 2, 3. Nobody's takes more than 3 seconds. And you want to look and see when it bounces back. The reason is what we were talking about yesterday on the call. So many people are obsessed with water and humectants like hyaluronic acid. Certainly great, but it's skin bounce. So what we're seeing come into the clinics are people losing bounce due to excess water and not enough elasticity in the skin. So a quick tidbit right off the bat of what we talked about was, and not a lot of you like to eat these, it's fish oil. So EPA and DHA and fish oil and that combination. And particularly we were talking about krill with astaxanthin. So, and the thing is people are eating fish less and less because it's all farmed. It's hard to get fresh. It's hard to get real food. But that's one thing. The second thing was creatine. And what we were talking about, so many people coming into clinics and they start creatine, but they get bloating. They get weight increase. They look at the scale and they come off it. But here's what you're missing. Not you, because many of you are followers on this channel, but everyone says, oh, the scale is going up. But here's the thing. Underneath, holding your face up, is your bone and your muscles, and yes, a bit of water, your arm skin, your legs by the knees, the skin on the lower abdomen, especially skin type 1 to 3 females, so lighter colored skin, and coming off of not being on creatine that decreases over time. So we're going to talk about that today in glow dosing if you want to take it in that direction. And then, of course, yesterday I did a video on red light, thanking all of you for helping me develop this. And I want to talk a little bit about red light because people say, well, how come red light works for everything? It seems like we'll talk a little bit about the science and what I talked about in the video yesterday. I'll give you a quick demo of something cool. And then we're going to talk about the neck. Because the neck, everyone was talking about the neck. And what I'm going to talk to you and show you is how you can combine lactic acid, so lactate, which is an alpha hydroxy acid. You're going to say, well, that's too harsh for the neck. But how to combine it with peptides, a group of 5 peptides so that you calm and decrease inflammation. But crepey skin was the issue that we discussed on the neck. So those are some of the things we're going to go into detail. Of course, we're going to answer your questions. Let me show you a couple of things on devices. For one, we were talking about red light yesterday. I want to show you a demonstration. This is my hand, and right now going through here is blue at 460, and I think you guys can see that. Comment if you can. It's 460. So we got blue coming through, red at 630, and we have 850, so near infrared. And the point is, I'm going to show you, I don't want to blind you guys, but this is just 630, and you guys can see that, but look at the diffusion of the light. So we're talking about LEDs on masks, and where the lights are placed are important, not just the number, of course, the quality, you don't want to give off heat, but look at the diffusion of the light on my hand, right? But here's the thing I want to show you. I'm going to go to near infrared. Do you see anything? Comment. Do you see anything? Alaska, thank you for commenting. I do. My friend fishes up there and I get fresh fish. Thank goodness. It's the only savior I have for the fish. But you don't see anything here because this is non-visible light. This is 830. So a lot of people say, well, they think that you're seeing all the wavelengths in the mask. So I'm going to go through that a little bit with you today so you'll understand. But this is actually giving off the most important light, the light that goes deeper. The longer wavelength goes deeper. And even though you don't see it, that's what it's doing. Now, a lot of times you can't see the sunlight that's giving you, or the UV. Well, a lot of times, I mean, you can't see UV with your naked eye, but it's giving you vitamin D. So I'm just going to spend 5 or 10 minutes on that. So you guys understand red light and the reason why I did that video yesterday about red light masks. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go back and look at it. But we have a giveaway today that I'll tell you about at the end of the video. I'm excited to give something free away to all of you. Hopefully you're excited about that. And then there's some specials. You guys asked for a few products that maybe you didn't see over the holidays that you wanted discounts on. So I put that together thinking of the things that you might want. One other thing I want to talk about is let you know all the things that I test. So a lot of you use this as a ZIIP Halo. So this is it here. I have all of these things around my office. So this is a ZIIP Halo, a galvanic, and we can talk about that because we're talking about doubling your skincare. What role did galvanics play? This is another one. This is a Renuva eye lift. When I design my products, I look at everything out there. And this is red light with galvanics under the eye. How many of you have either of these? You might comment. We look at the design and I look at it and go, okay, we're going to change it, make it better, make some alterations. These are some good devices. But just to let you know, this goes on like this. Look at this, okay? But obviously you can see there's some problems. So, but I know all the devices. So if you're using them and like them, that's great. I'm happy to answer questions on it all. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to dive in on some red light. And I see we have everyone from around the world here today. People, I know it's a little later today, so people from the UK commented, hey, it's nighttime here. So there will be a replay. And the giveaway today, you will have some time. So it's well after you leave the live stream, you'll have time to take advantage of that. Okay, Georgia, how are you? So let's go into a little bit on red light, and then we're going to open it up because it's all about doubling your skincare results. And for a lot of you, to be frank, it's stuff you already have at home. So let's talk about first this, because there's a lot of misconceptions with red light. And I will tell you how red light works. And this will be a shortened lecture. For you deep divers, I think we might do a separate group of people that want these type of videos that go into more detail. But to show you here, so you understand, because we all talk about vitamin D deficiency, you can see ultraviolet down below the colored light, the visible spectrum. You can't see it. UVA is what goes through your windows and causes sag. UVB is more superficial. The longer wavelengths up to radio, those penetrate deeper. Okay, so you see near infrared's a longer wavelength than red. And if you look here, the main point here is to show you, you don't see any wavelength above it, like your infrared saunas are higher than you stop seeing at 700 nanometers, right in there. You saw my 830, you couldn't see it. But the ultraviolet light, people always ask me, hey, what am I getting in the house? What kind of wavelengths am I getting in the house? And we'll go through why you need a red light mask and why not just go out into the sun. Well, the problem is sun's great. UVB, superficial, gets you your vitamin D. Midday, it's at the highest. UVA is coming through your windows. It causes sag. But if you want extra red light, that means you're going to get extra UV if you're outside, and extra UV will cause the sunspots, extra sag, and so on. And that's why we narrow it down to the non-aging wavelengths of 630 and 830 as examples. But look here, you can see the skin, and you can see vitamin D is produced by the superficial UVB, okay? So that is where you're getting your vitamin D, and that's going to be your more superficial. And then there's a whole pathway, which I won't go into. But remember, vitamin D is really a hormone. Let's go to the next slide. And I want to show you this because everyone also says, well, I'm getting all my red light and everything from the home. Here's the problem. We're not going out as much as we used to, okay? And in the home, we started using these bulbs, LED bulbs, right? And you can see they're high in the blue and yellow. not high in the red. Incandescent are higher in red. Red has over 1,000, some people say 10,000 studies, 1,000 studies, including human studies, of course, on the effects of red light. And good friends of mine do these studies. A lot of them are dermatologists in California and Florida, study red light, and they can pump out studies pretty quickly using different panels and beds. That's mainly what they study. But you can see here on the wavelengths, you can see exactly why we're not getting as much red light, because the bulbs used in the homes, and of course the computer screens that we're using now, are a lot of blue light. Blue light we keep in the mask because a lot of moms, dads are out doing their thing, who knows, but the moms are helping their kids with acne, and it's devastating. And one word here, don't let your kid get cystic acne and scarring, because they might leave the home at 18 or 19. Now they leave the home at about 30, 40. But when they leave the home, they have those scars for the rest of their life. Address your child's acne. And often you want to see a dermatologist, because to get rid of acne scars, we end up injecting a lot of stuff in the face, RF microneedling. Take care of your kids. But I keep blue light in there often for that. The moms want it to help their family. And the other thing is hormones change after 40. You guys can comment that a lot of women particularly get acne. I get acne after 40. I'm sitting there going, oh, the testosterone's doing good. I'm happy. Testosterone causes acne. A guy's happy about it. But for women, it's not that simple, because it's fluctuations of relative levels, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. And it doesn't mean they're feeling better from it. In fact, oftentimes they're not. But acne is a side effect. So we keep the blue light in there just to give you an idea. PEMF we talked about the other day, and of course the hairline. But ask me, Ottawa, Canada, great. Ottawa Senators last night lost a pretty tough game, Deborah, to the Montreal Canadiens last 4 minutes. Ottawa's not happy today that the city's reeling, but that was an amazing, fun game. Ottawa, great. I wonder if you're skating on the canal yet. Is it cold enough? You use the blue light at 75. Yeah, 75 years of age. Good for you. And I'm stoked that you're doing it. Leah, people ask me this, and this is a good question to bring up here. Hey, I'm 70, I'm 80, I'm 60. Does stuff still work? Of course it still works. You're only too old if you stop trying. Okay, you're only too old if you stop trying. And you don't want that. And the PRF, platelet-rich fiber, and things we inject your own blood products, people ask me all the time, red light, it's probably more important at 75 than 25. So yes, it works at 75, 85, 95. It's about your metabolic health. And if you're watching this channel, you're taking care of it with exercise, sleep, and eating as much real food as you want. So that's a good one. Let's go to that one last slide, because I think there was an important point that I wanted to bring up to you guys on the last slide. I don't think we addressed that one. But you're seeing, this might bring up more questions about red light. This is the final one, but a lot of people want to know, how does it work? Okay, so red light works. There's 3 different theories, but the one most accepted is something called cytochrome C oxidase. And by exciting that, because light excites things, we're all excited, but light excites the cells, it increases ATP. ADP is the broken down adenosine diphosphide to triphosphide to ATP. The more ATP, the better. But here's one I wanted to show you, because this is something we look at in Asia and in Korea. We study a lot. And in fact, look here, it's nitric oxide. I'll get to it. It's the bottom point. The release of nitric oxide, how important that is. You'll see in my Korean sheet masks, which are made in Korea, and we design them over there, arginine, right down here. And the reason I put arginine in is 2 reasons. Most people think it's 1. But one reason is it's a humectant. It acts like a humectant, like hyaluronic acid. Draws water in. Remember, we want bounce. So we want more than just water. It's involved in the nitric oxide pathway. And that's why Korean sheet masks are amazing after your red light, especially with arginine. Nitric oxide, you'll know it from sexual wellness. Why? Increases blood flow. So increases blood flow to the organs involved. And so you'll see it in all those tablets, nitric oxide. Why do we want it to the face? Increased blood flow means that you get your waste products that the cells are producing gone, and new blood, oxygenated, that you bring in with all new materials to it. So nitric oxide is an important part of the pathway for red light. And it's why when you double your skincare, why adding your ZIIP Halos, your red light masks, your eye lifts, products like my Duo Glow. Okay, now this has PEMF. And I was surprised from my video yesterday. A lot of you guys know PEMF from bone healing, right? Or from back pain. And absolutely, red light, so mode 2 has PEMF, another holistic one. Very few people realize that plastic surgeons put their patients on PEMF for wound healing and scar healing and have them lie in the PEMF beds. People don't talk about it because they think people are going to call them hokey. People called me hokey 12 years ago about red light, about PRF, and now it's everywhere and it's being produced. So I wanted to go through that, and maybe that brings up more questions about red light. Maybe I answered some questions. But again, 2026 is all about me bringing you more value. So you use the things you have at home to their optimum to double your skincare results. So which order is best, red light or red light, micro, etc.? I'm going to think that you mean microneedling, like plasmasomes. And remember, I have free for those microneedling. I have free courses on my websites that you want to take advantage of. You don't buy anything, but it's all about how to cleanse your skin, how to microneedling, what depth to use, what products to use, because it's what you microneedle in that matters too. But you always do your red light first. And I'm glad you brought that question up because so many people have questions on that. Red light first. And now you know why from my lecture is because you're supercharging your mitochondria. So now you have these mitochondria, which are your battery packs of your cells. Because my patients come in, they go, Rajani, I'm an iPhone and I go to 2% by 2 p.m. You want to have full battery by 10 p.m. Then you want to sleep and recharge it. Okay. So you want to use your red light first before anything else. And it's why now that you saw the wavelengths, and I showed you that little lecture on the wavelengths, you see why red light, as I showed you with this one, is superficial, but it scatters. It's why you don't need 400 red lights in a mask. It's a waste. Proper bulbs have scatter. That's why we use Apex Glow technology and we study the bulbs carefully. But when you excite the mitochondria, they're ready to heal and bring cytokines and inflammatory, I did use the word inflammatory, healing products to the wound created by the needle. You're going to say inflammation, but here's the thing. Your Thermage, your Ulthera, your red light, your galvanic, they all create microinflammation because your healing factors also include what? Okay. Exosomes. This is exosomes in a mask. Exosomes are signals in your cells that come to heal the wound from the microneedling. Okay, and that's why you add PDRN. This is a PDRN, the salmon sperm. That's pieces of DNA to supercharge your own DNA. So red light's always first. That's a long way of answering your question. But that's the order. Red light and then microneedling. Is 15 minutes a day good when using red light? Such an important question. Let's go. This is key. So I showed you red light, what red light looks like, right? So here's the red light. And the beautiful part is you can see good red light. It's going through the hand. The bone even lights up and you want bone. But here's the thing. The people will say, well, why wouldn't I keep this on for the whole day? Why wouldn't I keep it on the whole day? As you saw with the mitochondria, there's only so many mitochondria in your body. And so you're recharging them. Your body's going to take the amount of red light and excitation that it needs. That's the easiest way to think about it. So if you wear your red light mask for 10 minutes, for most of us, 3 to 4 times a week, that's all we need. Once a day, no problem. Your body may have taken 6 minutes of it, or 8 or 10 or 20. We don't know. If you didn't sleep, if you're doing drugs, you're smoking, you're drinking, you've been out late, whatever it is, your body needs way more of that red light than if not. And it tends to be the healthier people tend to have more of a skin routine at home. And I'm just thinking about making a video. I'll do it. I'm flying out tonight, but I'll make it this week about the 4 best things you can do in your morning routine. That's kind of what I have in my head. But you want to keep that in mind, that you 3 to 4 times a week is fine. Once a day is fine. Overusing it, you don't gain as much benefit the longer you use it, because you may have saturated the needs of your body. I think that's the best way. Hopefully that makes sense that I explained it. But you're not going to overdose on it. But your body, because I said excitation, is going to produce a little bit of heat. Not the mask, but when you put light into the body, by nature, there's a tiny bit of heat. But if you kept it on your body for 2 days, you're going to have heat produced. It's just the way, because the body's producing it. So you guys can see, I can talk for days on this stuff, but that was an important question. Should the halo be layered with plasma duo? Okay, here's one. We'll come back to that one. I'm a 27-year-old male. What routine would you suggest me if I want to use retinol and remove some of my dark spots? Basically, a few acne scars. So dark spots. Okay, love your stuff. Huge fan. Thank you. Here's the thing. What you said is key there. So someone walks in, you're a patient, you walk in front of me, and you're saying this: remove some of my dark spots, and you use the word acne scars. This is why me answering a question live is way better. And it's hard to answer some static questions online, because an acne scar could be depressed. It could be a box scar. It could be a rolling scar, or it could be pigment alone. There's 4 different types of acne scars. You specifically mentioned pigment. So something like my plasmasomes and microneedling with 0.25, that's a great thing to do, because it's going to brighten your skin and it has lightening factors in it. And your microneedling. So if you do have a little depression, so a depression with a brown spot, that's what makes the scar look way worse than it is. We can remove the brown spots, and then the depression's less noticeable. So you see how the consult is key? Your provider has to think like me. Brown spot, depression, what skin type are you? How far can I push your skin? My brown skin or darker, I can't push my skin that hard. If you're a lighter skin, 1 to 3, the CO2 laser next to me, I'm going to hammer your face with CO2. I might do full ablation, not even fractionated, because I'm not worried about hyperpigmentation as much. So I would also consider that an erbium YAG laser. I went through that 2 Sundays ago, my 2026 video, watch that. CO2 laser, IPL is great. And if you go back to the slide that I just talked to you about my IPL, or about the wavelengths of light, an IPL is broadband light, and I can filter it for 5 different filtered light wavelengths from about 430 all the way here. Thank you. So you can see, not that one, the slide before this with the wavelengths. One more before. So you can see here, there you go, yellow. So this is perfect, because the filters on my IPL, intense pulse light, also known as BBL, but not the butt one, the broadband light. So when you guys ask me questions online, hey doc, I want a BBL. I don't know if you mean the Brazilian butt lift or the broadband light, but go back to that. Sorry, I digress. Go back to that slide. I want to show you the filters, just so you know, because this has to do with the acne scarring. So if you look here, I would use something around the 550 or 580, and then the orange light. If you have vascular lesions, we use different filters. So you see an IPL for you and your acne scarring could play a role if you only have pigment. So think about that. Hydroquinone is good. I like it. I use 8% with a bit of steroid in it, and a bit of retinol in it. And it's Triluma, Triluma is one I've used for 20 years, but I make my own because I want different strengths. So there you go on that. Please come to New York. I'll be in New York tonight. There you go. You ask and I'll be there in the morning, actually. Yeah, I recommend you, doctor. The other 9,000 doctors are upset with me. So Volufiline for upper lids, can I use it? They're very dark. So Volufiline is not going to really, mine has THD ascorbate in it, so it does lighten a little bit. But you want to use DEJI. I did a video on that about 6 weeks ago. Sometimes I'll see the odd comment, Rajani, you only talk about your own products. Look, we're going to talk about different ones today that aren't mine, and I told you about revision. I tell you about anti-age, but in this case, don't use my products for your upper eyelid. Use your DEJI. It's on store.rajaniMD.com, and you can watch my video first, see if it's right for you. I put a ton of video or shorts up on that, and you'll see that. I put a ton of before and afters. You'll see if it's right to you. So I want to go, we're going to go on here for a little bit and answer some questions, but I want to tell you about a special. So you know, this is what you guys asked for. Keep asking and tell me what you want for specials, because I can also reach out to different companies and get stuff for us if we need to. So the special we have on for today is the red light masks, either of them, because we have the one with both have chin straps. One of them now, the Halo, has the hairline. If you've got an older one, just simply take your existing mask, use red and the red light and infrared put on your hair. But we also added PEMF to the Halo. So whichever one suits you, you get a free Nectar Firm. You guys asked something for the neck, and you're like, why don't you make the LED for the neck? And we can talk about LED for the neck, but you get a complete, and I've used this, you can go back and look at my videos, for about 4 years now. And this is the Nectar Firm Advanced. But they have a couple, but both Nectar Firms are great. But you get this free. The neck was a big 2026 ask from you guys. And you want to know about putting Sculptor in the neck. You want to know about fillers in the neck. You want to know about PDRN, something we do in Korea. So salmon sperm in the neck, exosomes injected in the neck, Renuva, all that stuff. But this neck cream, if I first didn't believe in a neck cream, I'm like, okay, whatever. You can use a combination of your home retinol, your alpha hydroxy acid, and cycle it just like your face. So they're like, I know the PhD creators of the product. And I said to her, in fact, I interviewed her on this channel, and I'll put another interview up. I'll interview her again if you like that stuff. She's awesome. But all she does is skincare PhD. She's like smart. And so I said, whatever. And I tried it for 2 months, and I was like, oh my gosh, like the loose skin. I was blown away. I'm like, what's in it? So I meet her at meetings. So I sat down for an hour and a half. And of course, I only remember 5 minutes of what she told me. Because, you know, these smart people, and this is just what she talked for days on this. But what the things that I took away are a few things. Number one, it's 5 peptides. It's a blend of 5 peptides. You'll never know. You can read what peptides are on. You'll never know exactly with these peptide people what exact formulation of peptides. You can read through in the ingredient list. Some of them are known. One of them is not well known. But there's ingredient MCTA. So it's a theophylline alginate. I think that's the one that's impressing me the most, and it has a lot to do with fat. What happens is, especially if you're out there and you're thin, that's why creatine will help your neck, because it adds a little layer of volume, structural support. But it has that makes your fat healthier. It has vitamin C, but too many people are trying to use their L-ascorbic acid that irritates their neck, and they get inflammaging. This has THD ascorbate. Fat soluble. So it works with that ingredient MCTA. You can see some before and afters here. It works on the décolleté. There's vitamin E, and there's lactic acid. Now, lactic acid isn't alpha hydroxy acid. You say, I got it in my AHA cream. But here's the real money. The peptides decrease the inflammation of the AHA as the lactic acid's working. And so there's a lot of reasons and a lot of ingredients in it. So you got CE peptides in that ingredient, and you can look through it, but this comes free. Now, in terms of my mask not having a LED that covers the neck, the reason is the chin area goes over the neck and the rest of the mask goes over the décolleté. People have different size décolletés, just like guys. I have one size, there's people bigger and smaller, and women add an element of breasts. So the breasts sometimes are lower, sometimes they're higher, especially if they have implants installed. Then you're not gonna want to put the red light in certain areas. You want the décolleté, so you have to trim it to that area. So I make the mask flexible so you can put it in other areas. How many people use it on their back or their knees or their kid after soccer practice? Because remember, there's near infrared in there too. There's 830 in that mask. I showed you how deep that penetrates. So a lot of people use it for that. So you get a free Nectar Firm, and we can talk about neck. Is it okay for sensitive skin? That's the beauty. The 5 peptides in here decrease the actives. They decrease the inflammation from the actives. I've never seen anyone, I just share. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I'm not a electrician. I'm not a physiologist. I'm not a full anatomist, and I'm not a red light guru on all the physics. I know a fair bit, but I know my clinical stuff. And so I haven't had a patient yet or a client of ours have a sensitivity to this. And I just tell you straight up, there are things that that I tell people 5 or 10% won't tolerate. This is one they tolerate. But remember, it makes sense because they built it for the neck. And the number one reason, to be honest, what ages people's neck, it's not necessarily hormone loss. It's not, well, sun exposure is true because people forget to put sunscreen, but it's inflammation and loss of fat in the neck because of sarcopenia. That's typically it. Submentum, it's different. That's fat. But the neck, and this is good for the submentum, and it kind of sculpts. So there you go. Yeah, I use my Rajani MD on my chest, and I've seen a huge difference. I just read them out. I don't know if it's going to be a positive or negative comment, but thanks for being a positive comment. At what age can someone start using your LED mask? Okay, great question. All of our stuff is built for 18 and over. So there's things I can't comment on, and it's like breastfeeding, pregnancy. I can't tell you what to do. No doctor really can. And so certainly online, I can't answer something like that. But what I can say is it's light. It's the most natural thing. And people are exposed. Would I use it on my child? 100%. Do I use LED on my neck and not worry about my thyroid? 100% I do, because I look at the data of the thyroid and to me, it's fine. Am I telling you to do it? This isn't medical advice, but I share what I do in my clinic, but I don't tell you what to do. How is that for a good answer? Would I use it my kid? 100%. Did I? Yeah, of course. Because I'm looking on him. Is there any acne? I'm like scared to death because I know what a single acne scar or two can do to the self-confidence of a kid. And number one thing, from my life's pretty much over. People coming up, they're young, they got a lot to live for. We got to protect them. So like, I'll take the acne scar, but I don't want kids living with that their whole life. So 100% blue light's the most least invasive way to take care of it. That's light's natural. And remember, you're only getting 5 or 10 minutes. It's what you would get if you're getting the sun, but without the UV. So you just don't get the aging. There you go. Okay. Question. Let's put up a question. If I've used red light without protective eyewear, is that the reasons why my eyes are sensitive to lights from my cell phone screen use? I've never seen that. In fact, I just met with one of the top retina doctors in I'd say the country, and we were talking about red light because Harvard just got their first red light for macular degeneration. It's FDA, the Europeans FDA approved in Europe for macular degeneration and used. I know London has one. Germany I think is probably ahead of most. We need an eye doctor on here, but I had that conversation with him. In the USA, it's not just red light, it's the exact wavelength. Well, we know now, I showed you the wavelengths of the red light, but it's the duration, the pulse, and the energy put through to the eye. So I'm not saying the mask or this light here is what you shine into your eye. Not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is the fact that they're using those wavelengths for macular degeneration. I don't wear the eye gaskets in my mask. I recommend you guys to use them because that's the standard. But I want morning and evening sunlight in my eyes, and I don't mind the red light in my eyes from the data I've seen. But the US stance on that is they're figuring it out. The European stance is it's good. So there you go. Yeah, my 17-year-old used the mask for acne, of course. Great, good for you. I see that my skin on my neck is sagging after the first 8 months. After the first 8 months, is there any tightening cream you can recommend? What does that mean after the first 8 months? It might be the pregnancy question. that maybe we'll put up some that aren't ones that I can't really answer. I literally, if it is a pregnancy at 8 months, here's what I tell moms that come into my clinic. I'm like, look, you got a passenger on board. We don't care about you, the mom. We care about the passenger. I'm being funny because we care about both. But I'm not worried about your wrinkles or your Botox or your fillers. I'm worried about the kid in there. So you will worry about your face when the kid comes out and the breastfeeding's done. Because there's a lot we don't know. Let me tell you one thing you guys have asked me about, and one thing I was shocked that you were shocked. I was shocked that you were shocked that you did, guys. And when I say you, I'm talking to the 5 million people that watch the channel every month. But a lot of people didn't know that we're using fat from cadavers, people who have passed away, processing it. And then I don't do this because I said no. And they're taking that fat, processing it. They check it for HIV, Hep B, a couple other HSV, and a couple other viruses that we know, because we don't know most of the viruses in the world, but what we know. And then injecting it comes like a filler, basically. So it comes just like a filler vial. You keep it on your shelf, keep it in your fridge, and you go grab it when the patient comes in, you inject it. But it's a dead person's fat. So there's Renuva and there's aloe clay is the next one that's coming down the pike, and these will be more and more. But I put a video up and you guys are like, what? We're using other people's body parts. Yes, that's common now. Common, yeah. I mean, you guys know Brian Johnson. He did it on, he did it on his channel or whatever. He talked about it, showed the reaction that he got. But yes, so like there's things that I don't do. If I don't do it for myself, I'm not doing it for my patients, right? So is red light still worth doing if you already have nighttime face cream or makeup? Yeah, of course it is. Red light, I would prefer you to have cleansed skin. I don't want you going to bed with makeup. Sometimes you pass out, you had a big night, of course. But in general, you clean everything off. But remember, the near infrared, which is a longer wavelength, goes deeper. A topical product isn't going to affect your near infrared at all. That's 830, 850, 860, 880. My lip and mouth has an 880. So don't worry. But the superficial red light, the 630, which is why my lip and mouth device, I use the 605 nanometer, because the lip is superficial. It's a mucous membrane. You don't want anything on your skin for red light. Near infrared is okay, but it's not going to harm it. No. Next one. Comment in the comment section if you guys find answering these questions youthful for everybody. Youthful. That's what's on my youthful. Useful. If you find that useful answering questions, because there's a few other things that I can talk to you guys or bring up that you guys have asked me to. Tretinoin help for crow's feet? Absolutely. And remember, things like your CO2 laser, there's tons of laser tightening out there. Could you put in Renuva? Could you put in one of those cadaver fats? Of course. Could you put in fillers? No sculptor around the eyes ever, but you can use flash fillers and skin boosters. That's a good use of a skin booster. Non-cross-linked hyaluronic acids and amino acids. Sanicos. If you're from the UK, I know you're all sleeping in the UK. Sanicos is one of their combination of 6 or 7 amino acids. And for those just joining, you ask about this, the special for today, and we have a giveaway at the end, but the special for today is a free Nectar Firm Advanced Cream with either of the LED masks. And of course, LED masks are going to supercharge everything. If you're using a ZIIP Halo, if you're using a Renuva, you want to use your LED first. It's going to supercharge everything. So that was special. What I'm going to do, well, again, you'll have enough time to purchase. Don't worry. We'll have it up at least for a day. Sometimes we run out of things, but this is a USA made, built product I can get. So it's, even if we run out, it's only for a few days. But yes, running out of things on these is a problem. Next, other special that we have is with the Duo Glow. So I think this is good to get into, because I did have a conversation too with a few people this week about dry eye. And I know, does a Halo mask treat tan skin, used for tan skin? Yes. So the Halo mask, you can turn off the near infrared. So for that person, if you have darker skin and pigment problems, you want the Halo mask, turn off the near infrared to start. The krill oil, I talked at the very beginning about lipids and fat in the neck, and the fat and the structural fat, sarcopenia and creatine. This is something I was talking about, a practitioner for dry eye and helping them develop something for dry eye. We're having this conversation, and it reminded me of the krill oil, which has astaxanthin. But one of the biggest benefits that people notice with taking krill oil is it helps their dry eye. So when people are using the Duo Glow, they are concerned about their eyes and under eye bags, dark circles, eye aging. When you go meet somebody, you meet someone brand new. You've known me forever, so you can't use this as a test on here today. But you go meet someone, and you go to coffee. It's Sunday afternoon, dinner. I guess it's late. They say, "Oh, this is Johnny. Meet Johnny." The first thing you do is you look at their eyes, and you might not realize this. And then you look at their mouth, and then you hear them or how they express with the face. But the eyes is the first place you look, and you determine subconsciously, are they healthy by their eyes and their under eye? So that's why a lot of people are on or use the PEMF and the red light that's in the Duo Glow, right? So what my team did is after my call this week, they packaged the krill oil. You get a free krill oil with the Duo Glow under eye because dry eye it's one of those 30 or 40% of the people problems. It's one of those like gum disease that we talk about. And I did see the stat last week. I was like, I don't know what the stat is on gingivitis and gum disease, but I think it's 40%. I literally got an article. I read about 4 articles every day, and it said the predominance of gingivitis, and it was 36% of the population after the age of 30, gum disease. So dry eye is another one of those. And when the estrogen goes down, especially, or like me, if you're on the water a lot, you get sunburn eyes or just aging. There's a lot of things you can do. But krill oil is a key component for dry eyes, for your skin, for glow. And the problem now is, of course, it's hard to get real fish. Hate to say that because when I'm in Europe, you can still a little bit get fish. It's declining as well. But that's why I go to Europe. I was healthier. I felt great. The bread was good. Didn't have as much chemicals. I was eating fish all the time. But even that's diminishing in Europe. Krill oil ensures that you get that. And it's non-GMO. It's GMP certified. You guys know I triple test all my supplements and everything for heavy metals, and formulated in the USA. So you're not getting stuff that you don't want, put it that way. And chia seeds, the problem is they're not as structural supportive as fish oil. And I know the vegans aren't going to like that, but do what you can when you're vegan. But if you have a choice and you eat mackerel, I eat pickled herring. I learned that in Russia and Sweden. They eat herring a lot. Trout is good. And in the Caesars, what do you put? Anchovy. Look, all the Canadians are going, it's Sunday. I'm drinking a Caesar right now. How many people here know what a Caesar drink is? I was talking about a Caesar salad, by the way. But if you go to Mexico, there's so many Canadians down there, you can order a Caesar. But Americans don't know what a Caesar drink is typically. But we'll see. I'm interested to know. You do. Only the Canadians are going to answer this, especially if you're from Ottawa because you lost the game last night. You're drinking Caesars like crazy. That was a devastating loss. Okay, you want to throw a question up? See, you don't know what the drink is. Should I tell us more? You want to know? Okay. Yeah, what about algal oil? I think you're saying algae oil. I know when you're typing it's there. So algae oil is good. Here's the thing. Krill, these little fish krill, or any fish are like Uber Eats. Fish don't have just astaxanthin hanging around or the oils that you want. They get it from algae. So they're like the Uber Eats delivery. They deliver it. The fish deliver it to you. But the fish don't just have it de novo. They get it from algae. So your question is a good one. Go right to the source of algae. And that is a good idea. You're not getting exactly the oils and the lipid stability that you get with krill oil. But yeah, it's good. Cod liver oil, does it work? Yes. Check your EPA in there. What helps the wrinkles below the lower eyelids? No bags or dark circles, just wrinkles. Okay, no bags or darkness. Well, you want to tighten skin. Red light's one of the first to start. And so this is mine with a holder. Okay, that's Duo Glow. DEJI is a good cream. Plasma Restore Volufiline. This is one that this Renuva eye lift device. This is just one I'm testing. Obviously there's some design issues that I would change, but what really helps with a product like this, and this is a holder we developed for it. Not everyone likes the sticky patches. Many of you do, but it's pulsed electromagnetic field, PEMF. That's why we put it in the Halo mask. PEMF is like grounding. You're on the earth, you get electromagnetic field. Well, it's pulsed and a little higher, but 1 to 50 Gauss. Boom, 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 boom. And it helps open the channels in the cells. You have sodium, potassium channels, and you have waste product channels to help get the waste in out of the cells. What do you see? Improved under eye bags, decreased dark circles, and just tightening of fine lines. And if you want a cream, Volufiline or DEJI would be my two. Should I use the LED mask before I do the face exercises and tretinoin after? LED mask first, exercises, then tretinoin, correct. And if you're using tretinoin under the eye, you're so MMPB6QH, you're doing good, because probably 20% of people will get dry eye with tretinoin in and around the eye. And that's where you definitely go to DEJI, because you don't get dry eye from that. Haven't seen that. And then that's where krill oil will help negate it if you're getting dry eye from your tretinoin. You do not want inflammation around the eye. I gave a few of my beloved Rajani Exo masks away. You give them away, you're like the best. If you give away a Rajani mask, that's the highest level of friendship you can have. As Christmas presents, awesome. Now my friends want more. I told them to go buy them for your own. Well, you can become an influencer. The influencer economy is huge. I get, the numbers astounding what they make, but wonderful. When look, I'm flying tonight. Of course, you'll be able to find me on the plane. You just look for the only guy wearing a sheet mask. But I can tell you, I feel so much better for it. And every flight attendant's like, can I have one? Can I have one? And funny enough, I don't think flight attendants buy a lot of our stuff, but they all must watch the videos because they tend to know me. So it's cool getting on the plane. I usually get a little extra cocktail for sleep. Not a Caesar, though. They don't have Caesars on planes. So should I be scared to use LED mask if I have hyperpigmentation as a Black woman? Black skin is so very different. It's great question, because you need a specialist. People who treat different colored skin become specialists in that color. It's so important because it's really hard to get rid of pigmentation problems. I'm hearing that blue and red light doesn't help me achieve my goals of aging or remove hyperpigmentation. You know what? It's almost worth at that point getting a consult. I'm not seeing your skin, but here's two things. Number one, if you're going to be a skin type 5 or 6, then, and what you want, I'd be a 4 for reference. 4 is dark, but tans. Okay. And you'll be darker than that likely. All skin types can use LED. That's the first answer. But if I'm you, and you already mentioned you might be prone to pigment, then you want something, and you don't have to buy mine. This isn't about buying, but you can turn the near infrared off on mine. So that's the wavelength that some people think causes hyperpigmentation. You absolutely want to do that. The other thing I'll tell you, for Black skin, what's been very successful for me in my patients is the VI peel. So it's a combination peel with retinol in it. It has a small percentage of TCA, and I'm not going to scare you, but phenol. And all you guys know is the deep phenol peels, but it's about 3% phenol. And it's really good for Black skin. And it really helps with pigment. And they're not expensive. So look into that peel. Probably, I bet you someone around you will do that for you. Does the Halo also work for the jowls? So both masks, yes. And you might be wondering, because the Halo, I used magnets to hold it up versus the strap. But the Halo also has the lights for the submentum and jowls. And you guys know why I put that in there, because a third of all consults that I do are for the jowl, a third for the under eye, and the rest is a mix match. The neck would be right up there too. But so that's why that mask addresses the jowl. I asked Grok about good at-home devices, and your device is recommended. Well, you know, not to be political, we'll take politics out, but I am a Musk fan. And the reason I am is for the internet for everyone when they're in trouble and they're in a bad spot. We can help people. And the other thing is I really see in surgery, robots. Musk is big on robots, and there's about 4 other good companies, but surgery is going, and now complex orthopedic surgeries are being done by robots with the orthopedic surgeon secondary. They're still running the show, but the robot's able to do a lot of surgery. Orthopedic surgery, like you're like a construction guy, pretty much. You're hammering. So that's the first one for robots and brain surgery. So yes, thank you for Grok. I'll have to put good. I like that. So robots. So you'll see a lot of what I'm doing going to robots, like aesthetics. And it's why you have at-home products, because the AI, to be frank, like the Renuva with the shutoff for your fat, that didn't exist before. So we're making better things less expensive. It's going to be amazing. Can I use tretinoin? Or here's what is the best moisturizer to add moisture to the skin? That's a great question. And I did a nice video. I won't remember the name of how to get it, but here's the thing. Layering a humectant. And I already told you that you guys all know the number one humectant is hyaluronic acid. I already told you arginine can act as a humectant. So those humectants are things that bring in water. And then emollients are kind of like your filter face. They kind of smooth things out. It's what you guys like to put on your face is a finishing product before makeup if you use it. So you want to layer a humectant with an emollient. And if you want to put a sealer on after, like an inexpensive oil, you can. All of those, to be frank, I mean, you can just dumb it down and use Korean sheet masks for $3 a piece. I think if you order 20, they're $3 a piece. It just doesn't get better for me. And it's why I created them in Korea with the Koreans by my side, as the Koreans would, right down to the packaging and the ingredients picked by me. You won't find the ingredients here anywhere else in the world. I picked what went into them and was still able to do it for $3. What can I do to help lines and saggy skin around the mouth and neck? So there's incongruency. You're going to have to write that big. So there's incongruency of the face. It's one of the things I talk about that ages people. What makes someone look older is bone and incongruency of the face. What does that mean? That means when the lower face looks older than the upper face, which is often the case with women because of bone, because women tend to talk a lot, and because of estrogen loss, right? And bone changes. It's why we have the lip and mouth device. It's why you guys have water picks, take care of your teeth. You don't lose teeth. All those things keep your bone. So for around the mouth and neck, obviously skincare, red light, everything we talk about skincare. If you want to step it up, the number one thing in terms of device, this ZIIP Halo would be like a galvanic. A newer device, which is RF with shutoff for facial fat, it's going to be more powerful for lifting and tightening. But if not everyone wants to do that, you can use a galvanic with product first. That would be your lighter session. Go to Newa if you need to. And then honestly, something like Plasma Sculpt, PRF, your blood draw plus Sculptra injected along the jawline down through here. That's what I do for my lower face on top of everything every few years. Just down along the jawline, in through here. What I call thumb printing right here. You get a hollow. And that's really where women become incongruent. Me too, because I'm talking a lot, I think. But women particularly, you'll see vertical lip lines and a younger upper face. So incongruency. And lip lines, so skincare, and then you work up. I have many videos on all of those things. So Nectar Firm Advanced, if you have questions on that, let me know. And then the giveaway. So a lot of people want to know, do you want to go to that giveaway? Okay. So what do you guys think? Should I use my dual PR mask before or after my Exobomb? Wonderful question. I love the mask, but haven't tried. Do you say haven't tried Exobomb yet? Get going. If you've got the Exobalm at home, don't wait on that. You're going to go crazy over the results. Exobalm has been an incredible product for us. I lost your question here. I want to layer them after a professional microneedling session. Yeah, always follow what your professional microneedler says. Keep in mind you can home microneedle, but he or she's probably going to 1 millimeter or 1.5 with a pen. Here's a skill testing question for you before I answer it. How thick is the skin below the eye in a 50-year-old female? I'm using females because most of you on here are females. Males as well sometimes, but under the eye in millimeters, is it 2, is it 5, or is it 1.5? So your choices in millimeters for the depth of the skin, because you know rollers are 0.25, 0.5, 1 millimeter. Those would be good numbers to use. The skin under the eye, is it 0.25 like the small roller? Is it 0.5? Or is it 1.5 millimeter in thickness? This goes along with this question because you're talking about microneedling. And the reason it's so important, I just talked about in 1.5 is what you're answering, because when you go microneedling, why would you ever want to go deeper than the dermis? Now you're into the fat. So when people talk about and ask me about the LED mask and the lights and how does it compare to other masks, this is what I do in real life. I see patients back. So I know how many lights do we need under the eyes, around the lips and the lower face? How many lights do we need over here? Who needs lights over here? Almost no one, but you want them here, here, and here. You see, so, and then you get diffusion of light. So I see some 0.25s and 1.5. You guys are split. I like it. You're split. So because you talked about microneedling professional, and what does that mean? What it means, a professional microneedling, 0.2 to 0.5, Deborah, 3647. So, and the reason, and this is in the talk that you guys want to see, how do we qualify for the giveaway? It's coming. And so the skin here is 0.4 to 0.6 millimeters in depth. So those that answered 0.25 to 0.5, you're right. So at about 50, that's what it would be, about 0.25 to 0.5. So when you say professional level microneedling, that means the person was thinking, imagine that, while doing their treatment, they were thinking. And what they did was they adjusted the depth based on where they were, because it's about 0.5 millimeters in your forehead, which is thin, 0.25 to 0.6 underneath the eye. But over here, it's like 1.5, 1. It's way, so a professional microneedling means they adjusted the depth on the fly with a pen that goes up and down, like the Cosmo pen. And so I have a whole course on that. But the point is, you would never want to go deeper than that on the certain areas of the face. So depth is key, and take that course. But to find a provider that thinks, that's the hard part. So now we're going to go, you want to go do a giveaway?
This is a good question to
talk
about the giveaway.
Okay, we'll talk about the giveaway. What do you use for thinning disappearing lips? Okay. This is good to talk about the giveaway because I'm using something, you know how I get addicted. And I always say I'm addicted to good things, thank goodness. And that's why I work all the time, because it doesn't allow me to have bad addictions. I'm addicted to my water pick. So meaning 2 to 3 times a day, use the water for the teeth, teeth cleaning. My gua sha is a full addiction. I had one around here. Gua sha, for those of you, I'm always inventing new routines, but now I'm up to used to be just jawline and neck mostly. Now every morning routine includes the cheek. And because you guys said my brows are sagging, I'm now starting the eyes. But my gua sha is a big addiction. My soda water with pomegranate at night when I watch hockey, that's an addiction. And then this here, the lip and mouth, is an addiction every morning, because after I brush my teeth, before I drink my coffee, this is a 10-minute session. And so for lip lines, I talked to you guys about gingivitis, and alveolar bone around is the special bone we have in the jawline it's sensitive, it's delicate, and it's why we're lower face ages, because of bone loss. I showed you the wavelengths of light, red superficial, 830s deeper. And gingivitis, I just read an article from the American Heart Association this week. They came out and talked about the link between heart disease and gingivitis bacteria. This goes on and on. But so this lip and mouth is a 10-minute session. 10 minutes you put it in is for the lips, and then the LEDs for the mouth, for the gums. And then there's teeth whitening. There's a blue mode for teeth whitening. And then we also have for, of course, the lip enlargement and for cold sores as well. We have a 1072 wavelength for those of you who get cold sores. Funny enough, I thought more people would get cold sores than do. Most people are buying this for lip size and gum. And many of your comments showing when you go into the dentist and get the cleaning done, that there's less recession on the gum line. Someone the other day commented, I'm all ones. What that means is when they pull the gum up, they go, oh, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. You go, what are they talking about? That's where they're checking your recession of your gums and the elasticity. Now how much gum moves up and down. So the lip and mouth device is our giveaway. Also, it has teeth whitening. So I did this the other day for myself since I'm traveling. And it comes with a whitener. And the reason we use a 460 nanometer wavelength in here to keep the stains off the teeth, but also so you only need, and this is a formulation of teeth whitening that I developed. So it's Rajani MD. It's very, very low level of actives because there's a blue light mode here as well. And that is for your teeth whitening. And what I put on here is a brush. So on here, when you put it on, you don't have to get it all over your gums. You brush it on the teeth you want white. You put the tray in on the teeth whitening mode, and you do that every couple months. So that is the lip and mouth. And that's our giveaway today, right? So now you guys will need instructions on how to do the lower face, it becomes incongruently aged with the upper face. So that was my design and the reason I saw people coming with brand new veneers, white teeth, and skin hanging down on their lower face. It looked incongruent. I did not like that. And I'm saying to patients, you got these beautiful veneers, but you got hanging skin. Not a good look. So a lot of what I do is thinking about what the problems are, what we can solve. And that's where this came from. So for $400, you get something that does teeth whitening, gums, help lip lines, keep the lip sizable and red because of blood flow. I showed you the wavelengths. I put a 605 in there to be even more superficial in the 630. And I put a 660 nanometer in there too for the lip. And of course, for cold sores, anyone who gets cold sores, there's a wavelength for there and a mouthpiece for that. So it does a lot. So yeah, you can use peroxide for teeth whitening like someone's mentioning, but your gums will be sore and you only have so much enamel. You don't want to be using that all the time. I saw a little girl the other day at the doctor at the front desk and she had almost no teeth left, but they were white, but she was like 24. There's going to be nothing left there. So you don't want to be using too much peroxide. So how do you want to put up on there? How do they do this? How do they get the giveaway? Let's announce this. So there you go. Here's what you have to do. And this is going to be up for over 24 hours. So you don't have to worry about if you have more questions, you want to stay, I'll answer a couple more questions. But if you can get that up again, store.rajanimd.com/giveaway. If you go there, then you'll enter and you'll have a day, at least 24 hours, correct? Like a little more than 24 hours. Enter your stuff just like we did the last giveaway. It's all done because there's rules and regulations for giveaways. I can't just give stuff away. I could be biased. So there's no purchase necessary. It's equal opportunity and above board. So you go there, store.rajanimd.com, /giveaway. And I'll link it later in the more info section. I'm going to hop on a plane here, but I will do that. And tell your friends about it. Now, you might not want to tell your friends because you're going to say my odds will go down. But remember, you just gave away some masks and those people loved you for the masks. So did I answer questions about using the Exobalm? Yes, priming, Exobalm priming. So use that the day before you're using the LED masks, Exobalm priming. There's a dental hygienist here. When we probe around your teeth, we're looking at the depth between the gum and the tooth. There you go. Either due to inflammation, gingivitis, or to bone. Now, I know when I'm in Asia and they're putting in all the veneers, they use a very strong blue light to solidify the glue in the gums. I think it's a blue wavelength that they use. It's good. We got dentists and dental hygienists. That's awesome here. So I've had gum disease, recession, really interested in lip and mouth device. Yeah, go to the comment section and see what people are seeing from the lip and mouth. Obviously, I showed you the mechanism of the red light on mitochondria and supercharging the ATP. Of course, that helps with cells, right? But red light's more and more used for gum disease, gingivitis, and more studies are coming through on that. So it's pretty amazing. Now, everyone knows now how to get to the giveaway, right? And you'll have to check on Canada. The problem with the give, like there's rules and regulations. So, and who would have known? Like, I'm just a doctor, but you can't just give things away. I know in big pharma, like when I go and I work and I lecture and all those things, I can't talk about stuff and I can only accept so much money, and everyone, you can go look and see how much money I accept, all that stuff. But with, please repeat the website. It's right up here. Look, it's streaming. store.rajanemd.com/giveaway. Streaming up there. There you go. But legally, there's certain countries you're not. Some countries we can. And I'm Canadian too, but I'll tell you, it's a problem up there. There's a problem up there. I'll just tell you that. But I would love to be giving it away to the world. And of course, financially be better for me and more people would love me. It's not that I don't want to give it to Canadians. I'm happy to ship things up there, but it's your country that doesn't allow those things. Look it up. Look it up. So any country that qualifies, you can, that site will know it because we pay for this. I pay a third party to be able to do this. I wish I could just do it for free. I've seen better results using your red light mask than with Sculptra. That's amazing, Vivian. Amazing. That's an amazing statement. And I'm a Sculptra lover too. But it's part of the thing, Vivian, is that you can use your red light every day at home. Whereas Sculptra, you got to go in and get it injected and you need several sessions and you need a great injector, which I'm sure you have. But thank you. Yes. Red light mask, when the whole theme of this stream today is double the result of your skincare. And I think that's true. Thank you for inspiring me to take care of my skin. Yeah, if I do nothing else, and again, you don't have to buy anything. You don't have to, but if I can inspire you to get on a regular routine of which sleep, exercise, you're not going to like that, and eating real food is your staple, then I'm a happy person. Yeah, UK the same. Yeah, I guess so. It needs a CE. So, and I go over there and I work in Europe too, and I know some things we have a CE for. Vivian, they have some questions for you in there. Do you want to answer a couple more? Do you want to put a couple more? You guys tell me what is, oh, thank you. Lovebug88888. Your mask is great. Thank you so much. Again, there's the website for that. And then we'll put up, compare anti-age and exosome cream. I think that's great. Anti-age is growth factors, a series of growth factors. The newer anti-age cream, which is on my site, by the way, a lot of this stuff we're growing. So you can buy both those on my site. It's synthetic exosomes. And Exobalm is plant-derived, grows the plant, stem cell exosomes. They're both great products. The only way to know is try both. Exobalm is lyophilized stem cells, so you mix it up yourself, so it will be a fresher product. On the other hand, anti-age is going to be very stable because they're synthetics. So try them both. And anti-age has something called bakuchiol, which is a retinol, a non-retinol type of retinol, plant-based. Okay. Yeah, good luck to everyone. I need an office in Pittsburgh. Yeah. I'd be flying. I'm hardly home, but I'd be flying a little more. Can you explain each of the settings on the original LED mask? All this stuff off the top of my head. On the original LED mask, the first setting is going to be, so you've got your red and your 630 and 830, red, near infrared. And then you have your blue and then you have your combination of both blue, red, and near infrared. So on that mask, 95% of people don't need to turn off the near infrared, but red and near infrared are, if you're having one, you're having the other. But it's on the websites. I've made them websites, I think, really good as best I can, and we can. We have a whole team. Everything's on there, from the fluence, the energy, the power, the wavelengths, the settings, and I make videos on them. So you can go to my playlist. Can you use the DEJ booster serum after microneedling with the plasmasomes? Yes, you can do that. You're going to 0.25. I would not do it for the first 45 minutes to an hour. Let the plasmasomes microneedle, cleanse, number one. Number two, apply plasmasomes. Number three, 0.25 derma roll. Number four, reapply your plasmasomes if you want. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Let that sit, and then come back at 30 to 50 minutes to put your DEJ boosting on. It's fine. And you guys not available for Puerto Rico? I don't know. I don't know. You're the giveaway. You'll have to check. Now, I'll reveal. Watch, if you like travel stuff, I'll reveal where I'm at. I'll be in 5 or 6 different countries coming up, and if you guys want to. I don't know what you want to see from those countries. I'm sure you want to know what countries first. I can't say today, but if you like travel and you want to see different things from those countries, let me know. Of course, it's work. So, I could show you around there too, but I'll show you what I'm learning along the way if you like that stuff. Losing bone on the face, doc, what can I do to stop bone loss? I have a video coming for you, and I think it might be this Sunday coming on vibration and bone and a study. I'm big on vibration right now. Of course, bone loss, you want to think of vitamin K2, D3, exercise. Here's something a friend of mine from UCLA did a study on bone. Muscle pulling on bone create a bone. So when you move your bicep, it pulls on the bone above and below and helps build your bone. That's why it helps sarcopenia, which is a weight loss as you age, and osteoporosis from working out. You need to pull on bone. That's why Botox stops muscle movement and you get some bone atrophy. Vibration, and I don't want to give it away in the video, but you'll see a nice study with vibration. And if you're using vibration plates, K2, D3, and you have to mention hormones. The FDA just did a switch, and all you women should be upset because they took away your hormones for 25 years, 2002 Women's Health Initiative trial. And now they're giving them back to you. There's 25 years because of progestins, synthetic progestins that they misinterpreted in the studies. So estrogen is important. Best thing to rid acne, picking, scars, and gels. So pick scars are the most difficult, the pick scars and acne. So again, we did that one. So the derma roller, RF microneedling, I got a CO2 laser here. I'd use that. And then a little bit of Belafil. But ice pick scars, what you're talking about, picking scars, you call them ice pick scars. They're the ones that they sit like that. Because they're such an abrupt angle, they're the hardest ones to treat. So you might need a combination. And then if there's pigment there, you need a laser on top of the RF microneedling, like CO2. Yeah, you missed out on hormones for 25 years, Heather. It's maddening. It's maddening. I'm hooked on your positivity. I'm an esthetician and learned so much from listening to you and passing the info on. Thank you for being you. You're very, very kind. I really appreciate that. What I hope that comes through to you guys is that, we have devices and products. We sell things here. I always want to sell the best of the best. I keep developing until we do, given your feedback. I owe it a lot to you guys. But what comes across is hopefully the positivity. Hopefully it motivates people to take care of themselves, their skin, but also their body and their health. Without your health, you're nothing. So your health, and then your skin comes along for the ride. And then you start doing things for your skin, and that increases your confidence, and that increases your life and your jobs and your money and everything else. So that's my goal with all of this. And keep in mind, a lot of people say, well, I got my own products, I'm selling them. Everyone on YouTube now, YouTube's moving to people making money. So, they're not touting their own stuff, but understand they have affiliate links. So everyone's making money and they're selling you something with affiliate links and people get a portion of it. But the most important thing is that you guys get information and education for your journey. So that is my goal with everything we're doing. So remember, the Nectar Firm is free with any mask that you purchase. Hopefully I answered questions on red light and the reason why my red light mask is made the way it is and what we've done. And then, of course, the giveaway. I want everyone, good luck for everyone. We'll be doing the giveaway and announcing it tomorrow, sometime later in the day, I'm sure. And all the information on all the products, the wavelengths and everything is on my website, store.rajanimd.com. Remember, I made videos on everything to make it easy for you. So I'm going to go catch a plane here. And then I do want to know, let me know if you guys want to see and want stories from around the world and see these factories and all the people that I'm working with and developing and all the different products. And I'll share that with you. But I thank you for being here, and I'll catch you on the other side of the trip a little bit, and make it an amazing Sunday. Go have the best day that you can possibly have. And we'll do more of these lives 2026. Thank you very much.